This is the ProdecoTech Outlaw SS. It's an awesome bike, and it's also kind of scary because this version, sort of the orange frame, goes 28 miles per hour top speed, throttle only mode. So it's almost like a scooter in a sense that you could just cruise around on this thing, and you know, it comes with a warning, off-road use. It's like all over the bag and the website and stuff. And I'd really caution you to be careful, because that's a lot of power, it's a lot of speed, and it's a pretty substantial bike at 62 pounds. A lot of that weight is in the rear, as you can see here. There's a 750 watt motor back there, direct drive. So it's quiet, it's really durable, and you know, super powerful with this 48 volt 9 amp hour battery pack. And it's all kind of in the rear, right? And again, as a scooter and stuff, that works all right, but frankly, when you're steering, like, you turn the front of the bike like this, and it's almost like crack the whip. There have been a couple times where I've been, you know, really cruising at high speed on this thing, and I've pulled the brakes. They're hydraulic Elixir Avid 200 millimeter discs front and rear, so you have lots of stopping power. But if you hit that front brake, you've got a lot of weight back here that I almost felt the front wheel slide out a couple times when I was turning and braking, and it wanted to, you know, keep going. I've crashed bikes like that, just regular bicycles, and with the added weight of this and that easy to achieve speed that you get, it can just make for some thrilling rides, to say the least. Also of note, I guess, is that the way the brakes are integrated here, they don't cut power to the throttle. So I love that this uses a trigger throttle versus a twist throttle, because there's a tendency, at least I have, that I start to grab on tighter if I'm getting a little nervous. You know, I'm going around a corner and maybe sliding out, I grab harder. And if it was a twist throttle, you know, that could you know, wreck you, basically. So the thumb throttle is awesome. That was a good choice. But the fact that you might be braking over here and gripping and still accelerating over there, that just exacerbates that sense of the rear end trying to, you know, slide out in front of you. It's like a rear wheel drive sports car, really. And I know it says off-road use, but given gravel and just, again, like, I'm riding on-road right now. I'm sort of at this event where, you know, you get to try out different bikes and checking out the specs and stuff, and you know, there are a lot of things to celebrate with this bike. Like, it's got these huge downhill ZOOM, amazing, like, huge shock suspension fork right here, and it's got adjustments and everything. But you know, that adds some weight as well, and there's just this, I don't know, that with the suspension going up and down, I think it can also it can add to that sense of the front wheel being a little bit less stable. And as you can see, there's great tread here. These are King Continental, or Trail Kings, I'm sorry, from Continental, and they're extra wide, so there's a lot of traction in that sense. They're reinforced, like, solid components all around on this bike. Like, there's no argument. These Truvativ, extra wide pedals here, sort of aluminum alloy, decent studded grip there. We've got 8-speed cassette, you can see it right there, SRAM X9, so excellent components, like, overall good quality. I'd hate to see someone wreck, and like, I've almost wrecked a couple times just screwing around on this thing, having fun. Let me hit some of the other specs. The battery pack is removable. It's lithium. It's going to get a lot of charge cycles before it wears out. It's lighter than like lead acid or something. You do have to leave the key in when riding. A little bit of a bummer to me, but everything's modular, so you know, if something breaks on the battery pack, you can see the connector right there. There's also a connector for the motor, so you know, getting maintenance and getting fixes for these is good, and they offer a couple-year warranty. So again, sweet bike, easy to appreciate, good price, and I think, you know, maybe a larger person or someone who's excited about all that extra power might get into this. Apparently they're selling them right and left. You know, and it's just sort of like, just be careful. There's a reason that there's like top speed 20 miles per hour and stuff, and you could go down pretty hard on this thing. And you know, yeah, we're just getting into motorized vehicle territory. You know this. I don't need to lecture you. Like, you know, it's up to you. I'm not going to get hurt, but just be careful. This is one of the most powerful electric bikes I've ever ridden. That 750 watt motor, that's at the upper limit of what's legal in the United States. And again, this isn't street legal. This is like an off-road use only kind of thing. So keep that in mind. I love that it has a bottle, you know, cage mount right there, because you're gonna get hungry or thirsty. They've got some some braze-ons in the rear too, but I don't think you could really add a fender. There's not enough room down there. And on the front, you know, there's really not much room between the suspension fork piece here and the tire. So you're basically, this is set up just like this. The seat's pretty nice, I must say, and I like that the frame on this is a little bit narrower, because you're kind of more upright and you've got good grip. These leather grips work really well. All in all, you know, it rides all right. And I think I've said this on other ProDeco reviews, like, you can't use the rear rack, you can't put a bag on it, you can't put panniers on it. It's really just the battery, but the battery does remove. So you kind of get what you get, like rear heavy, super powerful, off-road only. So enough with the talk, let's get out there and I can show you this motor in action. I'm actually at the bottom of a huge hill. Can you see this? Like, this is a really steep hill. I don't think I've ever gone up anything quite like this. And this bike can do it. So if I just throttle it, look at that. Just climbing the hill, no problem. That's where we came from, way down there. It's not even that loud, you know, and there are no gears in there rubbing around. It's all just magnets and electricity at 750 watts with that 48-volt battery pack. It's powerful. It's definitely, it's got that going for it. Here's what I was talking about before, like as you turn, the battery just kind of has its own momentum and force. Kind of keep that in mind. And here's the riding position. A bit of a shorter frame there, so I'm having no problem reaching that front. A good suspension. Woo. And 8 speeds is enough that even at higher speed, I can still pedal along and actually contribute, which is pretty sweet. Woo. And the front fork does absorb, you know, good hits. So that's kind of it. This is a hardtail, off-road use only, but be careful because it's not super well balanced. Just don't lose control of this thing. You're gonna fall down pretty hard, 62 pounds. But yeah, that's the Outlaw SS. It's becoming pretty popular, awesome looking bike, pretty good components, decent warranty. For more on this and other electric bikes, I'll see you back at ElectricBikeReview.com.